I'm not there yet to where I've made up my mind, and you know, in fairness to our team and that, I'm not sure that's something that they should be reading about or hearing about. That's somewhat internal. And again, getting back to my comment with Matt, there needs to be a carrot dangled out there for good performances on during a week, and I don't want anybody to get stagnant thinking they can't start. I remember playing. I like to start. It was cool to start. So I get that part of it, but with this team, we need to think about some combinations, some firepower, maybe some defensive-minded guys, some bigger guys that can rebound. You can't put 5 guys out there that are necessarily your best offensive players, in my opinion. And so some of that's going to be deep in my thoughts the next week before we play Ball State, and try to sort out some lineups and some combinations with some guys. And then, as I said, it's going to be something I evaluate each week. He really runs, got a good set of hands. I think he just needs to get a little bit stronger. But he can block shots and do what 5 guys are supposed to do, just change some shots in and around the basket. And a pretty skilled big guy that can get out and run with a great set of hands. That's a good starting, point for him. But I know he has, and he will continue to get better, as a lot of the guys on our squad. Just getting like a guy like Burkott tonight, the first 2 minutes of the game, I was joking with him because it looked like he was absolutely paralyzed. He was just kind of dazed and confused. And oh yeah, I forgot it's your first game. And he kind of knocked the rust off and had a good evening. So I'm confident everybody's going to continue to improve. Well, sometimes it's still a little bit inconsistent, shooting wise. But he's getting better defensively. That's what we want. Jordan's come a long way defensively and playing harder. He poses a little different threat as a 3-man. I think he can get on the glass and use his physicality, where he was always a little bit outmanned as a 4-man. That's been the biggest thing, is just watching the transformation there. And he missed a couple bunnies, or he's got a really, really nice night. It probably is 2 easy shots I think he missed, if not 3. So got to get a little stronger in and around the basket. But gave us a big boost early on from the perimeter. Yeah, nothing's set in stone with the redshirting. This still wouldn't be, if we chose to redshirt anybody, that this game didn't hurt anybody. In terms of the rules. So being an exhibition game. So we still have some flexibility. I don't see it right now. I don't see who that candidate would be for a red shirt. So I don't foresee it happening, but it's not like we're set in stone. I like our squad, and I don't think we have a candidate that makes a whole lot of sense. I really like to thank our administration, president, right on down to Dr. Hill, for the investment that they made in the Huntsman. I mean, it was out of commission for probably 6 months. Lights and sound, and got rid of the cloud, and obviously the new floor. And if you look during introductions, every row coming down was lit, and it just had a little different vibe to it. The other thing I thought was really cool, I was listening before the game, was you could hear there was some drums. We had the band's got it cranked up to where there's a little more percussion up there, and I've always thought the drums, it's kind of symbolic, I think, because our student section's kind of the heartbeat of the arena, and then when you can feel that bass of that big old drum, and hopefully they'll crank up about 8 or 10 more of those and add a little bit more life. That's a couple things I noticed that we haven't seen for a while, and our kids are excited to be playing in this arena.